watch this.
Okay.
And people are just talking. You can't. It's like you're just like this.
We gonna make it. I know we gonna make this one.
I know this for a fact.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Tapri, I am sorry. You're about to get so many video clips from this show.
Sorry,
I'm
man.
gonna get better cameras, man. I swear. Hold me to it. I'm gonna get better cameras before the end of the season. I'm sorry.
Sorry, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. What is up, and welcome to another episode of the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb as always, but today I have a special guest, man. Look, I have none other than the DJ, none other than the producer, none other than the engineer, man, and I'm sure there's more to that list that I'm leaving out, but we're going to get to in here, man. I got Jae Doug in the building, man. Say what's up to the people.
What's happening, y'all? Thank you for having me, bro.
Man, never a problem, G. Look, I'm so glad I get to chop it up with people that I get to, like, work with in real life. Like, sure, I was telling you, man, like, this year is just me getting everybody on the show that I really want on. Like, I mean, people who put me on to some of my favorite music that's mixed by you. Like, I'm talking, I got that CC track still in rotation. Yeah. Like, I'm talking, like, Adia's music you mix TJ's music, man. Like, all of this, I'm glad I get you on here to sing your praises. That's what I got to do this whole season. I got to sing the praises of all these dope people.
That's love, bro. I really appreciate that. Yeah, all of them, man, literally all of those tracks. It's different when you're like working on stuff that you enjoy with people like you were saying, with people that you enjoy working with.
Oh man, it don't even feel like work.
It don't. It's like okay, we have to go back and do some revisions, or hey, we're gonna be locked in for 6 hours. Or
like, damn, we get to hang out.
Yeah, that's it. We just get to hang out and we get to make some dope stuff. I'm with that. So man, that's definitely love. Like, you can really hear the fun in all those records. I had yeah, man, there's nothing like it, man, and I really appreciate all of them. This is just I just love doing this, man.
Hell yeah. Gee, look, now we're going to talk about this because that's so dope, man. And I also want everybody to know who's watching Miseducation, A Night with Stokes was engineered by you, man. So the beautiful sound that you hear was engineered, bro. I was in the post sessions, and let me tell you, when I watched you work, it was so beautiful just to see. You're really in your element in that studio. It's insane. Like, watching you go on the computer, seeing just how your ear works, it's amazing. I want to take it back, though, and I want to ask you, how did you get started with all of this, man?
Man, so I come from a musical family.
Okay.
Like, my dad is a drummer, my sister is a singer. My uncle was also a rapper. So
y'all had a band in the crib. Okay.
Low-key we did. And then, like, so music was always around the house. And then, I was even telling you off camera, without even realizing it, I had an interest in electronics because I loved working with my hands. But I didn't, like, put two and two together yet. So whenever I wasn't listening to music, I was always trying to find stuff around the crib to just, like, take apart and put back together.
Just like, let me figure out something to do.
Exactly. It's like, man, this Xbox controller keeps vibrating. I wonder what's causing it to vibrate.
That's what I'm saying. What is the motor in here doing?
Exactly. And it's like the interesting smell when it vibrates and everything. Okay, cool. Let me just open it up and see what it is. So when as I got older and I started not only going on stage with my dad from church and also with his gigs.
Hey, shout out church backgrounds. First time I ever worked on audio was in a church.
Hey, same. It was like, I literally, before I even touched a console, even like worked on anything audio wise, I would just sit behind him while he'll be playing drums, and I'll just be like, this is cool. But then, like, as I got older and I started going to studio sessions with him, that was when it all kind of clicked for me. Yeah. Because it was like, even though I wasn't the kid that would go to the studio and touch things, it was like I would just sit like in the couch, just staring at looking at every button. I would literally I would like just look at the console and look at all the outboard gear, and I'd be like, oh shit, I'm like, I could kind of see myself doing this. It's like, I kind of like this environment, Pops. Like, when next time you go in the studio? Literally, he's like, yeah, I have a session on Saturday. I'm like, well, can I come with you? Any chance I had to go to a session with him, it was off to the races. And so, man. Did you play any instruments as well? Like, did you play drums with him? I did play drums with him. Okay. But I wasn't... I was only able to keep time, so it was like I wasn't able to. You wasn't getting crazy with the paradiddles, no wrist flicks, like hitting the bass drum and shit. No, none of that. So my main two instruments was I played trombone when I was in band. Hey, shout out trombone, low brass, man, low brass. And then I also played piano. I did take lessons for a small amount of time because my piano instructor had too many clowns. And I wasn't with that, so I'm like, I can't learn piano, and there's a clown. Why are those even in the same space? There's a clown over. I'm like, I told my mom, I was like, I think I'm kind of cool.
Yo, what the hell is this piano teacher on, bro?
Man, I don't know. But
almost killed your love of music.
That tripped
over
me
some
out,
clowns.
because it was like there was just clowns everywhere, and I'm over here like learning like Beethoven and shit. I'm like,
it's like I'm trying to focus on Fur Elise, but I don't think you understand. That clown is staring at me, man.
It's like, and there's a whole bunch of them. It's like, actually, nah, I'm okay. So like further down the line, as I became a teenager, that was when I got into DJing because I ain't gonna lie, my mom showed me Crush Groove.
Oh, it was over.
It was one thing seeing like the break dancers and the rappers and stuff, but there was something about like the art of DJing that
where it was just like that song sounds good. That song sounds good.
Just put them together.
What if they both sound good?
Exactly. It's like if they're mixed together, then it's like, what do they do? And that even like intrigued my electronic background as well, because around that time I had to be at least 10, 11.
Damn, what kind of equipment we working on at 10 and 11?
Before I even had a controller, it was just virtual DJ on a Toshiba laptop.
Oh man, come on, G.
It was all just like on the keyboard.
I'm afraid we live the same life. Like I just had a gateway. That's the only difference in the story, bro.
You had a gateway?
I had a gateway.
Oh
yeah.
man,
no. I had to save up plus a birthday gift. You know.
Yeah.
I had one of them summer birthdays, so it was graduation and birthday. I was able to.
Lucky you.
That's what I'm saying. Had to cash in hard.
Hey, lucky you. I had my birthday is like technically, I think 2 weeks before spring.
Oh damn!
So it was like I had.
Ain't nothing popping in spring.
Nah, besides spring break, ain't nothing really going on.
So I'm saying you get tied in with Easter, maybe a Mother's Day.
Exactly, man. So it's like I started getting into that, and then I was already like starting to build up my music library a little bit because
So it was just keeping everything virtual.
Yeah, it was like everything was virtual. But then when I was like in the 8th grade as a graduation present, my dad got me a Hercules E2 mixer, which is like a very small mixer.
The Hercules mini joint.
Yeah, it was like a little mini
with
joint.
With the half size tables, like the $50
like
tables.
Small little jog
I got
wheels.
that joint on my desk at the crib right now, bro.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bro, and it's like I had to buy an extra sound card. It was like a small little sound card.
To go into the USB, and it had 2 plugs on it, bro. The 3D sound card, bro.
Yeah, the 3D sound
Come on,
card.
man. Come on, G. I'm afraid we live the same life.
Bro,
I'm afraid we had the same life,
and
G.
it didn't even help that I didn't even know how to set the speakers up right away.
Oh,
I had
man.
to I didn't know about signal flow or anything like that. So
Oh, man. So shit was probably clashing.
It is like you just heard a whole lot of. You heard more cable noise than you did music. It was like I would try to play like a Drake joint, but then you hear. I'd be like,
it's like, man, I ain't got nothing plugged in right.
And no, for real.
But you could hear the hope in there. That's all you needed. You knew what you was trying to do. So that was enough to hold on.
Bro, I blew a fuse out in my garage twice.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, that was not cool. So around that same time too, I'm like circling back into the question.
Yeah, no, you good, G. Stay on it. Stay doing it.
Man, so like around that
I'm here for the ride. It's an interesting story.
Oh, good, man. This is like my first time actually saying it out loud too. So this is very interesting.
What's up, man?
This is dope. So like around that same time too, I was linking up with some homies of mine from the neighborhood, and we was doing what teenagers would do. We would just write songs, and we formed like a band where it was mainly just like live instrumentation and rapping.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was you rapping then? Was you making the music? What's going on there?
I was rapping a little bit.
Okay, what was the rap name?
I don't really want to say.
Come on, man. Come on. It's a question on the show. You're not the only one who's answering it, man. You ain't got to share it, but I love to know, man. What was that first rap name? What was that first persona that jumped out of you?
All right, so I'll tell you the very, very first persona before it was the one that people kind of knew me as whenever I was trying to like move as a rapper. It was just Lil J.
Okay, okay.
It was just Lil.
Simple, to the point.
Like simple, because I was a big Wayne fan. I still am a big Wayne fan.
Same, bro.
So it was just like Lil and then just like the letter J. None more, none less. Yeah. So we were rapping a little bit, but even at the same time, whenever I would link up with the homies and we'd be writing these songs, before my homie had like some equipment, we used to have to like get up into the computer and rap to the computer.
Rapping on the little mic, on the little sliver mic on the computer.
Exactly. And we didn't know nothing
Everybody come kick your bars.
No, for real.
Lean
in.
And next person.
It's like,
next person.
And it's like, we didn't know nothing about MIDI, so we're like, how can we get the sounds from the keyboard into the computer?
Oh, man, that used to be the biggest question.
Bro,
it was the most elusive thing in the world. It's
Exactly.
like, what does this mean? I can plug it in, but how the fuck do I plug it in? What am I missing?
Exactly. It's like MIDI or MIDI. What is that?
Man,
like,
I used to always wonder what it was.
Bro.
Now I got so many cables, I hate it.
See, now you know how I'm feeling, because it's like, it's crazy how we know now, but it's like back then, it was just like such a mystery. And I felt like that's where like the first full circle moment happened, because even after we would write the songs and make the beats or whatever, my mind was always like, okay, how can I make this sound better? It's like, this sounds good, but it's like, how can I make it sound
You were chasing
cooler?
the quality. You were like, how do we sound like the radio people though?
Exactly, because it's like the mic, obviously the mic was too distorted. The beats were all over the place. You know, we were just having fun. It's like we had access to it. So
it was like, how did they get theirs to sound better? That's what we need to do next.
Exactly. And so like around the same time I had started picking up producing. This is like, I'm not even like going in the time frame. So like at this point, I'm like in junior high going into high school.
Man, you was getting to this shit young, bro.
Bro,
I was, but I kept it. It was closet. You know, like nobody knew about it. Like I was at the crib kicking a little rap, but nobody at the school was really rapping with me. I ain't had no friends around me that also were interested in it.
Man, the community was pretty small, so people caught on eventually. So, but it was like, I always knew that I wanted to do something with this. Once I found out that like you can make a living off of doing something like this, it just clicked. I was like,
it was over with.
I was like, I could definitely see myself doing something like this. So that was like my main goal, was to just like learn, okay, how can I make this sound better? Because like the songs are dope, but before we put them out, we gotta make them sound better. Mm-hmm. So that was when I had learned, you know, going back into MIDI and even going into making beats. But it's like, I'm in high school, so I don't know like this. I don't know this process at all. It's like me and the homies, we just kicking it, making music, putting it out.
We just trying. Fun. We ain't even got a USB mic.
Exactly. But then like,
somebody bring your DJ Hero GarageBand mic. Bring the Guitar Hero joint.
But no, like when the homies had started like actually getting mics and like gear and everything, we're like, oh, we in it now. It was like, at the time I was working off GarageBand and Mixcraft.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? Like folks
what
don't
a
know
time!
About Mixcraft.
What a time!
A lot of folks don't really know about Mixcraft like that. But at the time, it was like we was making music at both of my homies' cribs. But at the same time, my dad had a Mac, and whenever I would go to his crib or be with him, I would mess around on GarageBand,
which is just free Logic.
It was. That's
the only reason. That's probably the reason I'll never leave Logic, because I use GarageBand so much. Because my grammar school had Macs, so it was like we played around in all the Mac software. If it was free on Apple, we clicked it.
Man, lucky y'all.
Oh man, that's why I'm Mac for life. That's why people don't even get it. I'm it's been this way since like third grade. Like they overhauled the school. I ain't never went back. I don't want a single different product, you know?
See, that's how it was like at the crib, because my dad just had Macs, but I grew up with both PCs and Macs. Yeah. So like at school, whenever I was like trying to learn how to make beats, I used to go on this website called Loop Labs.
Man, come on, G.
Together.
You are bringing up just deep cuts of
these are like,
attempting to make music in like 2007 to like 2013.
That was really what it was.
Like all of these were the tools you needed to attempt to figure all of this out. And this is like before you figure out how to get a cracked copy of something.
Exactly. And like even going into that, because like beforehand, whenever I would make a beat on Loop Labs, I just think they would be so cool. I would just like hold my little Samsung phone up to my computer and just record it.
Get that whole beat.
Get the whole beat, because I know that once I exit out of this website, I can't save it.
It's gone forever.
And bro, I would like be on the school bus listening to like the recorded beats I made.
Man, come on, I used to listen to all my own shit. Exactly. Nobody even knew.
No one even knew. And then I'll go back to the homies like, hey, yo, man, I just made this crazy beat. And then I have to make it on the spot.
Listen to it.
It's like, I know it sounds, but I have to make it on the spot. So it's like, after that, I was like...
Didn't get a chance to like revise it.
No, I didn't. I just had to start from scratch. And then like, my uncle, he had hooked me up with FL on the home PC.
Mm-hmm.
I only lasted at least a week on that, and then I was just like, I'm going back to GarageBand.
FL is a spaceship, bro.
Hey, bro,
why are there so many buttons? I'm never gonna get over it.
Gee, shout out to everyone, especially all the homies that uses FL. Like y'all talking about Pro Tools.
Y'all are mad
FL is
geniuses.
Breed, man. I was like, and this was like in 2011.
You need a mad scientist to run FL and get a hot beat out. Look, anybody can go on FL and make some trash. Let's not get that twisted.
Yeah.
But to make something cold in there, you got to really know how to use that shit.
Bro, and this was like 2011 to like 2013. So like, I might be getting the version wrong, but I think it was like FL6 maybe. I'm not too sure. He's like, I'm not keeping up with like the updates on FL and whatnot.
But like this wasn't optimized for user yet. This was still damn near studio use. We just called it an at-home copy.
Exactly. Or like even at this, it wasn't even optimized for Max yet. That's how old it was.
Nah, man.
So it was like I tried to figure it out. Like, no, I'm just gonna go back to GarageBand, and then I transferred schools when I was a junior. Mm-hmm. I ended up going to HF, and I didn't know that they had a radio station, let alone like a. They had a radio station, and then like a music program where it was like a music industry program where like not only can you like learn how to navigate through the music industry, but you can make songs.
It's fucking Victorious, nigga.
It was low key like Victorious, and it was like I was
like, what the hell? Like,
it was low key like Victorious.
Is that why I'm now running into so many suburbanite rappers and singers who are just great? Yeah, who are like all from that area?
Because we all came from that program.
Damn, it's because all of y'all had this program. Y'all had secret sauce. I was just in band.
Bro.
I was just in regular band playing my tuba. And on the weekends trying to figure some shit out.
Gee, I was in band too, but when we didn't have practice, I was like, I know where I'm at. Mm-hmm. So it's like my junior year, that was when the pieces had kind of came together because we would be assigned to make songs and like someone would be the producer and like there would be an artist and there'll be songwriters and someone had to play management. But it was like we were really going in, bro. That is like
this is why y'all niggas all about to make it.
And
this is wild. Man, you good. I didn't even know y'all had these cheat codes.
Bro, it was so resourceful.
I'd be so proud of being from the city. I fake kind of wish I was at HO. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't never had like regret like that. But I'm like, I trade in my 606, you know?
So
like
606 for that?
I trade in the whole area code to get a good music program.
No, bro, no. Don't let that fool you because the district restrictions were crazy. No, for like,
it was wild shit in a different way.
No, yeah, because like literally when I first moved there, like the first 2 months of school, there was a car that would follow me to the crib because they had to make sure. They was
checking to make sure you lived in the area?
Yeah, I lived in the area.
Why? But that's because they had such good programs. Exactly. I would have tried to lie. I would have hella tried to lie.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm
put an auntie's address. Yep.
It was the auntie's
and go
address.
Stay right there. Hey, auntie, let me kick it at your crib for an hour.
And then I go.
This car following me.
Right, it's like I'm gonna go home for the weekend, but for the weekday, I'm gonna use your address
because your school. I need your school there, but trying to get a scholarship out of it. So I would have tried to finesse the whole system, bro.
And no, there was a lot. There was a lot of that too. But yeah, like we were in that program. It's like a lot of people who are now coming up, like all the homies who are coming up. We all like started in that program.
Did that program like help you? And I mean, to kind of get us back to what we were talking about, did that program like help you to figure out that like the route you're in right now? I guess like at a young age.
Yeah, because that was like the first time where like I was able to not only make a beat but just learn how to record.
And the environment had to be nice because you were told to do it. By authority.
Exactly. And it was like, bro,
you're telling me that I can have fun and create?
Right. And literally we had all the gear. So it was like we had a 32 channel PreSonus console, and then we had like a blue microphone, and then further down the line that was when we had a Focusrite. So I learned how to record after making beats through that. And that was when it really hit me where I was like, this is really like a full circle moment because I already knew how to work with computers a little bit. So whenever there was an error or something, especially with Macs, I knew how to fix it. Yeah. And because I was already using Logic back at the crib, even though I was using Logic 9, Logic 10, it was like I was already up on that. So I was like, okay, I I feel like I'm supposed to be here. It's like
everything's falling into place.
Everything's falling into place, and then even a more full circle moment for the radio station. I even had a radio show where like literally I was just on some Selection type vibes. By then I was such a fan of Selection.
Man.
But I didn't want anyone to know at the time that I was a DJ. So what I would do is that I would go to the crib and record my set at home on my DJ controller and everything. I just record it, and then the day of the show, before the show starts,
hit it with the USB,
hit it with the flash drive, and then if we had to do commercials or something, drop it,
take it out, right back in.
Literally at that, I had all the timestamps marked.
Oh,
so
man.
It was such a full circle moment, man. So yeah, it was just a mixture of like knowing that electronics. Well, technology and music can be cohesive, and there's like a whole field out of this.
Man, so, come on, go crazy,
So
G.
it was like once I figured that out, I was like, oh no, this is what I want to do.
That's one of the coldest origin stories. Everything comes together on that joint, man. Because that's so dope, and I want to lead this into the things you do now because I feel like you just. Like, man, like you're the walking embodiment of everything you just said, if that makes any sense. I've seen you do all of these things, and I've heard you DJ on the radio. I've seen you on stage with like Kalia and things like that, where it's like, bro, like you're really doing the damn thing. I want to let me take a moment and just say, damn, that's awesome.
Thank you, bro.
Now, out of all of these lanes, because now you do them all on such a higher level. You work at a studio, you're recording with these artists. I've seen you with the DJ and shit. I've seen you with the radio show now. Which one of these is your favorite? Because it seems like I thought your backstory here would have gave me like obviously this is your favorite. Which one of these is your favorite? Because it seems like all of them have your love.
Engineering is like, I feel like that's the most me. I feel like that represents my personality the most because I'm very technical, but I'm also very creative. And I love just like the studio has always been my favorite place to be. It's like I love being in the studio. I love every aspect of the process from recording all the way to mastering. Even if I'm not doing post-production on it, if I'm just tracking or if I'm just doing like co-production, it's always dope to be able to do things like print stems and organize the session and even like make input lists of like knowing what microphone is going to go into what.
Oh
or,
man,
like,
let me tell you, that's something I saw you do in person, and it was a different language. It was a different language. When we had to set up for a night with Stokes, when you all had to route how that system would work, like for those who are at home who may not know, we had a show where we had a live PA system playing in a small room, and we were recording this back so that we had all the tracks ready for post-production. And that's not something that we do regularly. Like that's the best way to put it. Like that's not something we just do on a Tuesday. And the way that you like stepped in and like when I tell you like, bro, you saved my audio, like because I thought I was like, oh, I could do this, and then you all started talking, and I was like, there's no way, there's just no way.
Like, oh, actually,
because you all are writing on paper the input list and where everything needs to go, and I'm just like the technical mind that it's required to see that. And we had no chords in person. We had nothing laid down yet, and you all are like, yeah. This microphone over here, we're gonna put that over here, this over here, and then you all just literally stuck to the plan and plugged everything in the day of, and I was just like, this is why. Yeah. This is why you do this. This is why you get paid to do this.
Yeah. And even like that aspect was fun too. It's like definitely shout out to everyone at Ironweed who helped us out.
No, yeah, shout out to Teddy at Ironweed, another necessary person.
Yeah, because it was like once we started talking and we understood that like we had the same language.
Yeah, like the vocabulary that you all had, I did not have 100%.
We were like,
and it's like, how? Man, because you all did go crazy. And like you just said it was fun. Like you derive fun from this stuff. Like the engineering aspect of it, the figuring out all of these things, even the energy of a studio, like it seems like all of those things like are the fun part for you.
And like whole time, bro, it's like even though, this is a profession, I still like there are like a few homies.
Oh yeah, where you got the love for where it's like I will use my sauce for you at any time.
Exactly, and especially like it's different when you want it.
Man,
and it's like I literally see it like in your face that you really want to do this shit.
There's something after you've worked or after you've heard so many people record, you can decipher that like hunger in somebody's just like tone, the way they approach you for the session, the way they already got their shit together when they come in. Like you know when somebody is like, I am for real about this. And I love to give that back. I think because like that's the energy that feeds me. Man, and we could dive right in on the topic on this. Like, does that incorporate into the fun for you? I mean, hey, like, into G, keep some of that in, man. We was just talking, but G. And man, keep this in too. Let them know, man. There's a good conversation going on.
Yeah, bro. No,
but does that play into the fun aspect of this for you?
Like working with passionate people?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like seeing that passion, does that like still sway you? I say like as a person who's now made it a profession.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like, you know, that's a reciprocated energy for me. It's like if I see that you're passionate and like you're hungry for this, I know that I am already, but when I see that in someone who I'm working with, that energy just reciprocates. It motivates me to go even harder because the main thing I want to do, I want to help you get to the next level. I ain't worried about, okay, you know what? Yeah, you recorded something. Let me slap on a few plugins and you're gonna be on your way. It's like I want to be a part of that process with you because at the end of the day, I want you to win just as much.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I can use my resource and my skill set to help you do that, come on, man. That's really what it is for me.
You're talking about language, G. That's what's up,
it's
man.
Like that's really what it is for me. It's like
that's so awesome.
It's like, man.
I guess I see how you can derive the fun from that. I see how you can find the fun there because I get that in different ways where I can help. I feel like when I'm in my lanes and I know that it's like, yo, that's my lane right there, and I can definitely help push you forward here. Yeah. And I feel like you're doing that for all of these people. I mean, like we were talking a little bit off camera when you were shouting some people out who I actually kind of want to shout out now with it because I see you working with them and or I'll hear your name being brought up and shit they're doing. Like it was so dope for me to be looking through stories and see like Kalia X, because shout out to her, and you're on the tables behind her. And I'm like, I know the dude on the tables. Man, and I know he got that show going crazy. Like,
man, yeah, we definitely go way back. Like we go back to even like the HF program. Yeah, Kalia is definitely a gem.
That's what I'm saying. All those people you worked with, like it seems like you all kept the connection and kept making amazing art.
Man, and that's even like I feel like I get very like sentimental about some of this stuff, but that's just because I mean it. Because like, there's nothing cooler than seeing people who you came up with thrive. It's like, and you were able to witness that firsthand.
It's like you have fans, dude. Like I remember when we were just rapping into computers. It's like you got fans now, bro.
It's like we were just having fun, but it's like now you're really doing your thing, and it's like, man,
this is a viable life option.
Yeah, it's like that motivates me to even go even harder.
That's awesome.
Just because of like the people who you surround yourself with. It's like that helps you out just as much. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, even on the engineering side, because I know you told me, and you can share some of this if you want to, but I know this from the behind the scenes of chopping it up with you. Yeah. You helped out on one of my favorite tracks of the year so far by J Wood. That's Homesick. Like, how does that even, like, dude, like, that's so dope that, like, you get to use your ideas and the way that your mind works. Because, I mean, when you were explaining to me, and I don't know if J Wood has dropped some stuff yet, so we could speak more in code about some things, but you explained to me just about how you got to use, like, your audio engineering to set up recording a large, like, actual band. Like, how is that? Like, what is that like to be able to do that shit with your, like, people who you came up with?
That, first of all, that was so cool. And even though I've never done anything like that before, because of our background, especially like with my background and my dad being the director of a marching band, like we came up on marching band culture. Yeah. Like he done went to an HBCU, you know, he like, my dad comes from that lifestyle, so that was also
of that ilk.
He's really of that ilk, like band fraternities, everything. So that was instilled in me as well. So when Jay had asked me to like help him put this together, I was like, first of all, I'm even honored that you asked me. So like it was just like cool being a part of that process, but it was even cooler like in the post process, because I didn't get a chance to like go with them when they were actually on set, but I made sure that they had everything that they needed for that day.
You were telling me about it where you were like, I had to tell them where to set all the mics up and make sure the recorders were in the right place. Yeah. So that when it all comes back to you, it can be leveled right.
Yeah. And I'd be like, yeah, man, you know what? No, I'm going to help you see this through. And then in the post side, let's figure out what we can do. And it was great just listening back, seeing how we can, going back to, you know, how we can make things sound better. That had came back in a full circle moment for me, where it's like, let's turn this into a full performance. So yeah, like I don't know if that's gonna be dropping.
Yeah, you know, like, I don't know how they do in that part, but I know that it had, like, it's just like, from what I've heard from him, because he played a little bit of some stuff when he was here, it's just like, gee, you all did something that I could dream, like, that's a dream, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially as a marching band kid myself, it's like, this one is for the band nerds.
Literally.
This one's for the nerds.
This one was for the band kids. It was for the band kids. And I was like, and it worked,
man. The reception of the track was amazing. Yeah. Like, just like all of it together, it coming together, just like the way the photos came out, the cover, I'm just like, oh, this is so perfect.
Bro, when he showed me the video, just like the clips while we were working on it in post, I was like, this is different.
So different.
This is it's like everything just seems to be like gelling and coming together. Like even the actual track, I was like, nah, this hits. And we're doing this.
We're doing this to
follow that. Man,
this is gonna be crazy.
I'm with it, man. I'm here for the ride. I want to see this succeed just as much.
That's so awesome. And that's some stuff where I'm like, bro, I can't wait till all of this is out so that everyone could just be like, yo, this is amazing. This is beautiful.
Man.
Now, I do want to ask a few questions, shifting gears now. We talked about your DJing a little bit. We talked about the engineering a little bit. But, like, I do want to talk about you actually spinning. So, like, for those of you who may not know, like, I figured this out through you. Is it Beloved?
Beloved Radio, yeah.
Beloved Radio? Yeah. Man, so you spin on there. Like, actual DJ sets, I'm talking like I get that 2000s nostalgia back. Hey. Like, I'm not going to lie, the playlist we were listening to when you came in here, Electric Feel is in there because of when you spun it in your set.
Oh,
like, just because I heard it and I was just like, man, you brought that song back into my life. And I love that because I don't play around with my music. I'm not a radio person. Like, I like my list to hit.
Yeah.
I don't like whatever's in the top and then whatever they think is going to go. Like, what is it like to, you know, to get back into that, because it's something that you did in high school, but like now you're doing it at a different level. Like now it's like the times have changed, the internet radio show, like it's much cooler from my perspective. But like, what is it like for you? Like, how is it picking a set now in these times, and even like being a DJ still on the radio, on the internet?
That's like my decompression period. Because
that's the fun. That's the real one. No work involved.
That's the fun part too, because it's like even in between time, I spend a lot of time digging. It's like I love digging for music. I love digging for new music. I love going back into my library and just finding things I probably haven't listened to in a while.
It's a great pastime.
Man. And so like when I was asked to do this again, I was like, man, I could finally like channel the same energy that like I had when I was just a fan of internet radio. So like stations like Selection and NTS, and then through that was Bone Soda, and then Bandcamp has their own radio show. And I was like, stuff like this is dope. So it was nice to be able to add my contributions to it.
I was about to say, now you're a curator of it.
Yeah, and it's like I used to do that for fun, but it's like now that I have more of a platform to do so, oh man, let's
it's go. Over. It's like this is all I was missing. This was the piece.
Because like during the pandemic, even when I was doing like a lot of mixes from the crib, I did like a lot of sets because I had so much music.
Yeah.
I had like so much music on hard drives and then like my personal server.
It's like, bro, today we only spinning Soulja Boy. Like I have enough music, trust me.
It's like we only doing down south rap. I don't
Welcome
know.
to Wayne Wednesdays. We are only playing Lil Wayne, no repeats.
Literally, that's including Gangsta Grill's Wayne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dedications through the droughts. Let's go.
Whole hour. Let's go. It's a whole playlist, dog. Yeah. Man. So that's. It's fun to be able to tap back into that too. And like even when I'm at the studio, if I'm in between sessions or before a session or after a session, I bring my DJ controller with me just so that in between time I could go in and just record my set or just get the playlist together, because it's only like the show is only for an hour, but it's just like trying to curate a set.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm sure you probably start with more and have to condense.
That happens every time.
Of course.
It's like I have to delete more than I add. And that even applies to engineering too.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, how do you even pick the list? Like, you have that much music. Like, how do you curate a list? So it's like as you're going, I'm assuming. So like whenever it hits you during the day. Yeah. But like, what's the moment? Is it you hearing a song, or could it be something reminiscent of a song, or what kind of triggers the it's time to work on it?
It kind of goes both ways. It's like now I had to get to a point where I had to like schedule time to put the playlist together, because even though I still listen to music recreationally, I have a lot of playlists.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably totally different zones.
Bro, my Spotify and my SoundCloud playlists are ridiculous.
Oh man, you ain't gotta tell me.
And now that Bandcamp has playlists,
I hate when more places add them, dude. Right now, my problem is my YouTube, my Spotify, and my Apple Music. My Apple Music goes all the way back because I had iTunes Match back in the day.
Oh, yeah. So I forgot they had that.
I think I had like 500 and some playlists because they start from like when I was, 12. Like, and I got all of them. I'm talking like the ones you used to be able to make on the iPod on the go, the on the go playlist.
The on the go playlist.
I have my on the goes original from my iPod video still.
Man, you taking it way back.
I have like all of my old shit. Like I don't delete files. I'm notorious for that.
Yeah,
like people always know if we ever worked on a project together, they're like, I lost this. I got
you. It's
like I'm that guy, but like that's what puts me into that zone of being able to like have those playlists. But like I imagine like you probably got this much music too. Like we're from that LimeWire time where it was like I'm just bored tonight. Let me download 600 songs.
Literally, it just like put them all on the flash drive, and even though
I don't even know these songs, I'm downloading them like type shit
in every genre. And like even though I had to like swap out the flash drives just because some of them died or like other cases.
Oh yeah, man.
It's like I still have all of them. It's like I have terabytes worth of music.
Yeah.
So I have to like schedule time. I have to like schedule.
You gotta go through all the folders.
Yeah, it's like I'll create like a playlist in my DJ software as like potentials, and then I'll like go through them and see what works and what doesn't work, and see if I can swap something out or just take it out. So it's definitely a process, but none of it has changed as much as when I was just doing this for fun. And I was just like,
stays the same for you.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It just stays the same, man.
I'm glad for you. It's one of those things where it's like it seems like you're doing something you love. It seems like everything led you to it. And all you had to do was just, play your part.
Yeah.
Like, that's so awesome, man.
I think I just took everything like one day at a time. And I am a firm believer in full circle moments, which is also crazy because the studio that I work out of is called Full Circle Studios.
It is. That's why I was like, man, that's hilarious.
Literally. And it's like, we even came up with that name because even with the relationships that were built in that studio and
everything just comes full circle.
Everything just came in full circle, and I was like, you know what, that would be a dope name whole time. And because I just applied that same mindset into everything, I'm like, man, full circle moments are really impactful. So I'm just grateful for that, man. I'm grateful that I can still tap into different parts of myself and different things that even I've been into since I was a kid, as well as, make a living off of it and be able to help other people through that as well. That's really the biggest thing. It's just like being able to be a resource for people who didn't have that kind of resource beforehand, even boiled down to providing y'all with the hour playlist on monthly on Sundays. It's like that's it's like you're giving something to the world, and it's a piece of you as well. I'd argue, man, playlist is sometimes more intimate than talking to people. Literally. I feel like I got playlists on my phone where if you looked at it, you'd be like, hey, if he playing that one. Hey, I would almost feel naked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like where it's just like, you don't need to know what songs are in there. Like, I got some that are just private. They'll never be available on my profile on these apps. And even if there is, it'll be like mad exclusive. I'll shuffle the songs up so you kind of get confused. Kind of like, because it's like, I got an order where it's like, oh, you'd be like, oh, that's your crying playlist. Like, that's if you got that one going, you probably sad as hell. It's like, you're in your feelings with that one. Who puts I Wish It Would Rain right after that song? Like, just shit like that where it's like, nah, now you bringing up David Ruffin, bro. That's how it goes. G, playlists like that. Now, I got a couple questions that I ask everybody, and one of them is,
What would you do if money's not a factor? You can create whatever project you want. What's the dream project? Like, no one's going to tell you no. No one's going to say, I don't have the time for you. Like, what's the thing you would create? You dip into a lot of different lanes here. So normally I could ask an artist, what's your perfect album? And maybe for you, it would be an album or something like that. But what's the dream project for you? Like, what would that be? No, like nobody's saying no. I'm talking 3 stacks would come if you asked.
Like you like 3 stacks.
3 stacks would slide up. I'm talking anybody. You can get anybody out the crib. You can get a verse from whoever you wanted. You could get them in the studio to work with you. If you wanted to do something where you needed an actor, that actor couldn't say no.
Man, my dream project. I think about this a lot. There's so many of them.
That's what I'm saying. What's the one for right now? You're only held to it for 24 hours. Let's say that. If it changes tomorrow, you ain't got to kick yourself over it.
For 24 hours?
That's what I'm saying. So what is it today?
My dream project whole time is that I want to have a space. I want to have.
You want to create like a whole space for something.
Yeah, so like pretty much like a whole studio, of course, with all of the gear that I've ever wanted.
Okay.
As well as like all the aesthetics that I've ever wanted. That's one room, and then another room will literally just be a listening room. So we'll have nothing but turntables and CDJs.
Some nice chairs.
Some nice chairs where it's like you could spin or you could just listen. And my record collection on top of like all the records that I don't even have yet.
Oh man.
So it's like it'll be that room in an estate that's like low key either right by a lake or right by a beach. It's like it's almost like a cottage almost, but it's like it's a creative cottage. Where it's like,
damn.
It feels warm.
It's almost like a place where it's like, look, if you need to work on your project, we come out here, we lock in for 2 weeks.
You know what I'm saying?
You get the best music of your life. It's like a Shangri-La with
Shangri-La, literally,
Rick Rubin.
Yeah, like Shangri-La. I've always, and even like,
I love his VW bus studio.
And that's even a studio too.
I love it.
I was like, bro, that is so cool. Because I would do something like that too.
Oh man, it's so dope.
Because even though I've only been in a space like that one time,
it was memorable enough for you to be like, nah, it's one of my dreams.
Yeah,
like,
no, for real, because it's like once I saw that,
I like that shit in tight.
and then Shangri-La and like some of like the other studios that I would see that are like located out in Europe and will read articles about in K-pop, I'll be like, man, I would want to make a record in a space like that. And then also we decompress. Another cool thing about me is that I love the barbecue. So obviously,
so you need to be able to be like, I'm over here mixing the track. Now I'm about to hop on the grill.
We about to hop on the grill. It's like, yo, you want some coffee? I love coffee, so I got some coffee beans on deck.
All of this has got to be around you.
All of that, bro.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Now with that vibe, what do you think the first thing you probably do is? Like the room set up, first night, you got the perfect studio, everything you could ever want. You about to go sit down and plug that computer in. What's the first thing you got to do?
First thing I got to do? Like after it's plugged in?
It's plugged in. Everything's set up to your liking already. Is there a song you got to play? You want to immediately make a beat? Like, is there something you need? Like, what do you need to do on that first seating in this?
The first thing I would need to do, I would definitely need to play a reference track to hear how everything sounds.
Okay, what's that track? I know you probably got one. What's the track?
Whole time, my favorite reference track to really test low end, especially in a pretty spacious room, and I have a sub, like an 8-inch or a 12-inch sub, is Humble by Kendrick, because man, the way that low end hits.
Oh my God. That bass line is driven into my soul since the first time I heard it.
And it's like that, but even like the 808s and the sub basses that are underneath, those harmonics, they always hit. So that was always
that's gonna show off everything you could do.
For real. It was like I can literally hear clarity in all parts of the frequency spectrum just from this track, because it's like, yeah, there aren't really any ad-libs. It's just a simple beat with Kendrick just riding the beat the whole time.
Who that nigga thinking that he fronting on man?
Get the fuck up,
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so dope.
Man, so that'd be my reference track. And then like after that, like low key, yeah, I probably would make a few loops, or even like, you know, make a beat out of it, and then
cook up real quick off the energy.
Cook up real quick, and then I call up the homies. I'll be like, "Hey, bro,
everybody."
It's like, "Hey, y'all, it's ready, man."
It's like an Avengers Assemble text message.
Literally, I'm literally Nick Fury, and I am pressing the button and being like, Avengers Assemble, or even like Autobots Assemble. It's like I'm
Everybody.
Optimus Prime.
That's what I'm saying.
Now.
It's like I have it. Everybody come now, man. That's so dope, G.
Yeah,
I don't know if other people are gonna notice this while they're watching, but what I've noticed here is that it seems your through line is you love to create. Like you love the act of creation, and when other people are doing it, you love to get involved as well. Like it's so dope. That leads straight into this other question that I ask everybody who comes on the show because the answers vary, and it's just always so personal in a way. What do you do to keep up with your creativity? Like, how do you make sure you're fostering it and taking care of it? Like, you do a lot. You wear many different hats. Whew. Like, what do you have to do to compress, like, when all of this is too much? What's your step away?
I literally have to... Man, before... I honestly just started doing this 2 years ago. I had to make time for it, and I had to, like... give myself time to decompress, especially if I'm going for a couple of weeks, a month, or even like a couple of days straight. I need like a day where I can just recollect my thoughts. If it's nice outside, I'll go for a walk. I'll probably go on multiple walks. You know, definitely.
But you just can't have nothing on the schedule for like a whole day.
No, or even like for a couple of hours, because I'll always find time to create. Because especially when I'm going on walks, I have my field recorder with me.
Oh man, you know, so you can't stop even when you stop it.
Man, it's definitely been a discipline to not take it with me all the time, but that's just the coolest part too. So I do that. I do work out and like I do meditate. And
those things are kind of your step-aways.
Yeah, step-aways, or even like barbecuing.
Yeah, like I mean that's got to be relaxing. All of my friends who barbecue, it seems like therapy. Like honestly, after seeing them barbecue, it seems like they like went to a therapy session. So just like, bro, your mood, your tone is up. Like you're talking about these ribs with such vigor. You know, like niggas
pop it open, bro. Like put on these burgers, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like you ain't never heard somebody break down food until you heard a nigga talk about what he did on the grill that day.
Swear,
like bro, nigga. Be like, man, you know, I started off, you know, I threw them links on there for my mom. She liked the hot links. Yeah. Then, you know, I had to get down to it. I was marinating this shit. And I'm like, bro, you're taking me on a journey. Like,
and you know what's crazy? It's even like the same thing with engineering, too. It's like, man, it's like I had used this mic for such and such. And
oh, damn. So you kind of get that methodical process of everything.
Especially if someone asks about it, where it's like, yeah, like I used this plug-in for the drums. I did this for the vocals and this, that, and the third. It's the same thing when I'm barbecuing. It's like, man, I seasoned it this way. Or like I had the heat set up to this.
I was like, and then I turned it to low at this time. Bro, that's really how people who do the barbecue be talking, bro.
Bro, shout out to my uncle, man. He played a huge role, and my stepdad, of just like teaching me how to barbecue.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I never got the bug.
Hey.
My pops is that uncle for other people. He loved grilling. He loved teaching niggas to grill. Yeah. Didn't work on his son. Didn't work. I can't grill shit. Hey, I barely eat meat.
Hey, and the whole time
I'm a borderline vegetarian. And I'm not skimming no fucking vegetables. Don't say it. Nah, nigga. That's what every black person to say to you. Oh, you can put some fish on there. I'm fine. I'm okay. I got an air fryer, man.
You don't want to grill no broccoli?
Nope.
You don't want to grill no broccoli?
I'm fine. You know, broccoli don't taste too hot anyway, so why would I put it on the fucking grill?
I actually do not recommend that.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you do that? It sounds like it's going to mess up something else you got going, and I don't want a nigga be mad at me because everything tastes like broccoli off the grill. That sounds like a cookout angry Bob right there. That's right.
Peppers and corn is a different story, but not.
Oh yeah, I love some corn.
Yeah.
But am I gonna turn on a whole grill for just corn? Like I don't eat shit else. I'm fine.
You know what I'm saying? Like the corn on the cob. Hey, it's good, bro. It's good. Like grilling corn.
I don't think I'll ever own a grill in my life. I don't think I will. I don't think it'll ever be a purchase in my home.
But yeah, that's pretty much like what I do to decompress, and I just like spending time with my family and the homies, like people I really care about. And it's like I do anything from going record shopping to going to the cafes. Like I didn't know how important living your life really was to creativity.
Oh yeah,
and like how much it actually benefits your creativity. It was like it's one thing when you hear it, and it's another thing when you do it for a brief period of time. But when you make the intention to be like, okay, right now I'm gonna just focus on living my life. When you step back into what you're doing, you be amazed just how much just pours out of you.
I feel like art is really just a mirror. So it's almost like if you don't go get something, you're just gonna keep looking at the same thing over and over again. You'll keep creating the same if you don't go get new life to kind of round yourself out with.
Exactly, just like taking care of yourself, because like even with engineering, I feel like there's not really much of an emphasis on how to take care of yourself.
Not at all.
In the studio.
Artists take a vacation after they drop their shit. You start working on the next nigga who's going to need a vacation after they done with their shit. And you've been locked in since March, you know, like of last year type shit.
It's like, oh, we turned into Project Thursday. All right, cool. Now there's a whole new session on Saturday. Friday.
Oh yeah, and then you got some of the artists who probably want to hop right back in. Yeah. And then on top of that, you got the other artists who's coming in to start their project. You got to buy their vision. You got to understand their flow, and then you got to figure that out. Yeah. You have a hand in so much more than I think anyone out here who's just an average listener even thinks about. Yeah. And you got to be refreshed for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially when you're locking in for long periods of time.
Oh yeah.
Like 6-hour sessions, 8-hour sessions. Those don't really feel exhausting to me, but it's like when you're sitting down for a long period of time, you definitely have to take breaks. You gotta drink water.
Nigga, I gotta go do a walk real quick.
Yeah, for real. It's like
y'all listen to this one back. I'm just gonna pace.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go outside. I'm gonna just like literally walk around the block and then come back, or even like, hey, let's go get lunch or something like that.
Y'all hungry?
Yeah,
I'm hungry.
Yeah, it's like let's go down.
Put a pause on that timer,
and then let's go. And it's like, you know, stay refreshed, drink a lot of water, sit in a decent chair if you have one. It's like I feel like that's definitely one thing that most people don't really talk about, especially like how to protect your ears. So, like ear fatigue is a real thing.
Yeah, my ears are shot.
Especially when you're listening in a pretty like high volume for a long period of time, your threshold of your hearing starts to diminish.
It does.
And it's like your ears just feel squeezed.
I was going to say, we don't get new ears either.
No,
people don't really think about that.
Nah.
I was in college marching band for a few years. And let me tell you, after you're not in band for like a year, you go, oh, the world sounds different.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
like I had a constant like ring.
Yeah, like, it's like my hearing all of a sudden just opened. And it's even the same thing like in the studio, or even like when you're on stage. So it's like whenever I go to shows, even when I'm DJing, I always wear earplugs.
I keep saying I'm gonna start, but it's like my bike helmet. I got them. When I use it, it's probably gonna be too late.
Whole time keep them in the pocket, or keep them in like a small bag that you take with
you. Yeah, because if I bring them, I will feel like, yo, you stupid if you don't put them in. Maybe that's where I got to get to.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I know for a fact I have these going to a show. All right, pull them out.
Yeah, man, because I know I'm about to ruin my ears. I listen to everything in stupid high volumes. People always look at me and go like, that's not loud. And I'm like, y'all don't want to hear all of it? It's been so dope having you on the show. I'm so glad that you came on for an episode, man. On every show, I end it out with a track from the artist, but you're an engineer, so I think this is even better. I'm going to pick a song for you so you don't got to pick one, my G. We're going to go with Malbec by CC, man. Check out this track. They are one of the awesome, like they're one of the dopest artists I've been put on to recently. Oh, yeah. And I was put on through your story because I found out that you helped out on that production. So that's the track we're going to go with, man. While y'all are hearing that in the background, let them know what you got coming up next, man. What's going on?
Man, so there are a few projects that I'm working on right now. I'm working with I don't want to give too much away, but there's like this.
You got some shit in the works.
Yeah. Stay tuned. There's a lot going down. So.
There's a lot going down, man. And while you're staying tuned for that new stuff, make sure to check out when he is spinning on Beloved. I think it's beloved.wtf.
Yes.
Yep, beloved.wtf. That should not be hard to forget. Go ahead and check him out when he's spinning on there. So make sure to check that out. Make sure you're peeping the podcast. Make sure you are just taking care of everything out here in the world. Thank you for coming on the show, my G. Man, I'm excited for this. Make sure you play this podcast for your mama, your sister, your baby daddy, your auntie, your dog, your cousin, your fish. Play it for your house while it's settling. Play it in your car, and then keep it playing in your pocket when you go into work. Just turn the volume all the way down. Thanks. It's all good. Give me a play, man. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Deuces.
Peace.
I thought I told you, meet me in the middle. Could have been so simple. Baby, was it worth the taste? I trusted my own intuition. Told me love without conditions.